Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Remy.
And I'm Brandon, and you're tuned into A Life Worth Loving. We want to thank y'all so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and even sharing. It's wonderful, so thank y'all so much. And to those who are new with us, welcome. And we hope that what we have to share, you will enjoy as well. Today, we want to share with you an update on our pregnancy through the lens of our health. And, you know, like we said before, sometimes we have to love the things that aren't the most glamorous. And these moments right here are not the most glamorous, but there's always a praise report at the end. Just have faith with us and just see us through, because although we have some challenging news that we had to face and that we're going to share with you guys, God bless us at the end, and he always does, right?
Not only did we have to face some health challenges, but we had some hard decisions to make too, as it relates to things that we really looked forward to, like our baby moon. Can't go on that anymore. We're supposed to be recording from Jamaica right now, but we're in our living room still. One thing about pregnancy that I didn't really realize was how many doctor's appointments we had to go to. Like, there's a doctor appointment every week, every other week, every couple days. Like, it's just, we're constantly with our providers, which is a good thing because at least we always know the status of our health. And throughout that time, we've had some excellent news, like the baby is totally okay. And then we've had some challenging news, like mama is not okay. And I think one of our most comedic health scares was when I thought I had rubella.
Rubella, oh my goodness.
I literally thought I was dying that day. Like, that exact day, I'm like, it's all over for me. I gotta, like, find an executor of my state. Like, legit thought I was dying.
Yeah, you called me, I was at work, and you like, baby, the baby.
We're both gonna die.
I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, I thought it was
dramatic.
over. And my doctor was performing a C-section that day, so I couldn't get a hold of her. And long story short, I read the results wrong, and it just said that I'm immune and I'm vaccinated against rubella, not that I had rubella. So after that, I'm just like, okay, Remy, you cannot worry this much when you get a bad result, because I spent all day worrying and planning my funeral.
Yeah.
So, fast forward to an actual health complication that we went through that was not a false report. At our 20-week scan, we were scheduled to do a full anatomy scan of the baby, which we were looking forward to specifically because we got to see every single part of him. And we love those appointments the most because we get to see our cute little baby, our gummy bear. And baby, he's so cute, y'all. I think he looks just like me, but he's still like skeletal, so you can't really tell.
Working through it.
But we got to see every part of him, and the doctor was clearing and checking off things as the scan took place. And by the grace of God, everything with the baby looked excellent. He's developing so well. So that alone is excellent news. And then it was time to take a look at me. And I didn't even know that, like, for some reason I knew they were going to, like, check out where the baby is. But I didn't know that something could go wrong with that appointment as it related to me directly. So that wasn't even something I prayed for. Like, Lord, bless my health. It was like, Lord, this 20-week scan, let's make sure he has 10 fingers and 10 toes, 4 hemispheres of the brain, or 2 hemispheres of the brain.
4 heart chambers.
4 heart chambers, like all of that for him. So she goes to check my cervix length, and she's like, it's 3, which is fine, but it's like that's the lowest of the normal range. So she's like, let's just monitor it. You'll come back next week and we'll do it again. I'm like, okay, great. I get to see the baby again next week. So I'm totally fine with that. And we're like, what exactly does that mean for your cervix to be short? And she's like, there's nothing to worry about right now. But what it means is that you can go into preterm labor. I was like, oh, in my mind, preterm labor is like 36 weeks. That's where it was for me. It was nothing urgent at all. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. sounds good.
See you later.
See you later. So we left. We updated our family on how healthy the baby was. I think we told our parents that my cervix needed to be monitored, but just that it needed to be monitored, not that there's anything wrong, because there wasn't. So we spend that week still preparing for our baby moon, still preparing for the shopping, getting our matching outfits together. Y'all, we were about to be matching head to toe on every shot, which maybe that's the reason we didn't go, because we would have been so annoying. Yeah, we went on planning. Everything is normal because we don't feel like we have anything to fear, right?
Right, exactly.
So we get to the 21-week appointment, which is just that, 7 days after, on that following Friday, and Brandon wasn't able to go with me, because once again, we had nothing to worry about. So like, he didn't need to take off work for every single appointment, and this was the first one he didn't come with me to, ironically enough. And I had a different doctor because my doctor was out on holiday that week. So my amazing doctor put me in the hands of another doctor who I thought was also kind of good. And the technician comes in, does the scan, and I see the number 2.4. And I'm like, how the heck did we go from 3 to 2.4? But I'm still not concerned because it has not really registered to me the severeness and the seriousness of what it actually means to have a short cervix. So the doctor comes in and he's like, okay, so we're going to put you on progesterone. And I'm like, well, what is that? And he's like, it's a medication that you have to take nightly, vaginally, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay. And he went on this whole tangent about his vacation coming up. I told him about my vacation coming up, and there was no concern at all for either of us. And on my way out the door, he said, oh, by the way, no sex for the next 2 weeks and no strenuous activity. And I'm like, okay, cool. The instructions sound simple to me at that moment. So I scheduled my appointment for the next time my actual doctor was there. And I go back home and I tell Brandon that my cervix is now substantially smaller than it was last time, and we have to take the medication. But once again, I'm still not concerned.
We didn't understand what we were truly facing.
What we were truly facing.
So we was like, let's take the medicine and do what we have to do, and just prepare for the trip still.
Yeah.
Go on with life.
So 2 days later, we were over our close friend's house, and we were giving them the update on all of our health, and they seemed to be concerned. Like, giving us examples of people who had short cervixes and how it did not go well. We're like, wait.
We got all signs to say,
this is serious.
Yeah, hey, let's pump our brakes here a little bit.
Yeah, so then we decided to have a call with our actual doctor, who is fantastic, by the way. And we got on the phone with her, and she said, I don't recommend you guys going on your vacation. We don't want you in a third world country. We don't even want you on an airplane to go anywhere, like not even a helicopter. Like, do not get on a plane. If you want to go somewhere, go to Malibu. Like, she was very specific on how she does not want us far away from a hospital in general. And she went on to explain that because I got the news at 24 weeks or 23 and some change, that if the baby does happen to be born before 28 weeks, that the baby's chance of survival is very, very substantially low, because they're not developed enough. Like, they can't breathe on their own. Like, the lungs aren't finished and nostrils haven't even started to develop. But if the baby is born at 28 weeks, then there's a better chance of survival. And I'm like, wait, what? The baby can actually be born like right now? So that is when the reality of what we were going through actually set in for me, because I was ready to go on the vacation.
Yeah, we had a lot to look forward to.
We had a lot to look forward to. I was not concerned because I didn't understand. And I think that was God's way of protecting me, because I tend to worry way too much about things that I do understand. And I think it was his protection during those weeks, to where I was ignorant to what was going on, and I did not even have the thought process to worry, because I didn't think I had anything to worry about.
Both of us.
But Brandon, even not worrying, before we even had the call, you didn't want to go on the vacation anymore because you just didn't want to risk it altogether.
Yeah, I just felt that we should do everything in our might to get this baby here.
Yeah.
Like, if there was any type of question, we should really just slow down and make these decisions now. Like, it's been us this whole time. So now, even though our baby isn't physically with us, out like holding our baby, it's important for us to make decisions as parents, moving like for the baby's future before we can actually even see him. Yeah. So I was really slowing down before Remy actually wanted to. So we were like kind of like, babe, slow down. And
I was like, no, we're going on this vacation.
We're going, pack your bags.
It's happening. The baby will be okay. Like, yeah. I was not ready to cancel our vacation. Mm-hmm. And I felt so good. And that was another, like, that was confusing for me because I'm used to feeling sick when I'm sick or feeling unwell when I'm unwell. But I wasn't in any kind of pain or discomfort during this time, so it was hard for me to process the fact that I'm not okay. And after talking to our doctor, who told me, you're not going anywhere, I'm like, I'm not okay. And just going through that conversation with her, it was just like such a harsh reality that this is a complication that we have to pay attention to. We cannot just ignore it and wish it away. Mm-hmm. So at that point, Brandon's like, we're pulling the trigger. Your emotions are not going to take us on this vacation and have us risking this baby's life or yours. We're pulling the trigger, canceling it all. We're not going.
Yeah, it actually became like a faith walk for us because, like Remy said, she couldn't feel what was going on within her. Yeah. But we had to have faith that have faith in this uncertainty that we're gonna get through it. Mm-hmm. But we have to do the right things. We have to slow down. We have to practice parenting. So this was a test for our faith, for our parenting, all in one, and we had no idea. Yeah. So I think we passed that test. We're here. We're not in Jamaica.
We definitely passed that test. And, grudgingly though, for me, if I'm being honest, like I wanted to still go until I asked myself the question, what is more important? Mm-hmm. Like, what is all this for? And I'm like, it's for a celebration of our love. Yeah. And the fact that
we've
it's
worked
our
so
last
hard.
vacation.
We worked so hard
baby.
for the year.
We worked so hard. We need to be able to celebrate and disconnect from the world. Hoorah. And it was just like all these things which were cool, but none of which amounted to the question of, is it worth risking the life of your baby? And it's like, shoot, another reality check. Yeah. None of that is worth risking the life of our baby.
We're so close to holding him.
Yeah, we're so close to holding him. And I'm like, no, you are not going to come tomorrow or the week after that. And then we risk losing you. That's a hard no. I'm going to sit down.
On this couch.
My cervix needed to be monitored for 2 weeks on this medication to see whether or not I needed to get a device inserted and to have my cervix stitched. So.
And I didn't even understand how intense that procedure was.
That's a real surgery. Yeah. You have to get an epidural to get that procedure. So
and get the stitches removed.
And you have to get another epidural to get the stitches removed. And that was something that we weren't even interested in introducing to this pregnancy. So it was a whole lot of factors. We had 2 options for how it could have played out. Option 1 is the progesterone ends up working and my cervix does not shrink anymore. Option 2 is that my cervix continue to shrink, so we close it. We stitch it, and then that's it. No sex for the rest of the pregnancy. And just like one quick sidebar about that, I do think that God prepared us in our season of dating to not rely on sex because of things like this. And we went through a season of our entire relationship before marriage with each other was celibacy. We didn't have sex. And we knew that there was a deeper reason other than you're not supposed to have sex before marriage. But like we knew that there was something more to it. Like God specifically set aside sex for your spouse. And this was the first time that either of us lived out that intention of marriage or intention of relationship even. So when times like this, when we get in a situation where we can't have sex, we understand that our relationship is so much deeper than that and so much more substantial. And if that wasn't a case, I would have had so much insecurity about not being able to sexually satisfy my husband, about him not being able to sexually satisfy me, just about like all the things that you think of when you can't do what's one of the most
desired or
important in some relationships, part of the marriage or of the relationship. So to have that news was not something that is like that sent me into a spiral of insecurity.
For sure.
Yeah, it was more like, darn, you know, like we can't have sex. Okay, that sucks. But it wasn't like anything deeper than that. So I just wanted to throw that in there, that like that intentionality for the purpose of sex is important.
That's a great point.
That's like basically what happens during the 2 weeks. We were waiting to see which outcome we had to go with.
Yeah, still doing the medication every night, which was fun.
Brandon was my suppository.
Suppository.
Is that a word?
I don't know, but yeah, I helped medicate Remy.
Babe, not important.
Just, you know, I'm trying to get the details. All right.
Okay.
We continued on the medication.
We continued on the medication for the 2 weeks, and that was our 2 outcomes: stitches or not. And what determines the stitches is your cervix shrinks more. What determines to stay on the progesterone is it stays the same. Only 2 options. There's no version of life where the cervix grows or where like this condition just like cures itself. At first I was afraid, and then I realized if it keeps the baby inside of me, then I'm down for it. If like it can protect me from opening up too soon and allowing the baby to just shoot out, then let's do it. And luckily, one of our friends had a friend who went through this same situation, and I was able to use her as such a great resource. And unfortunately, her cervix was determined short too late. And the God part in this is when she found out she was at the 24 weeks and she was on an airplane. We were supposed to be on an airplane at 24 weeks. And she lost her baby on the airplane during that 24 weeks of pregnancy because she did not realize that she had a short cervix, which is why having an efficient medical team is so important.
Yeah, and that was
it's so important.
Sorry, babe.
Go ahead, honey.
That also helped determine like securing this doula for us as well, because we were on the lines, like we wanted one, but that was like full confirmation that we need a doula, and we recommend it for any married couple to have a doula, because you need
or any mama in general.
Mama, need for sure. You need that advocate because we don't know. Like cervix, cool. We hear the cervix news and we're just going about our business. But if we could bring that to our doula, they would know right away. Like, hey,
don't go.
Yeah, cut that.
Yeah.
So we secured our doula
immediately.
Yeah, for sure. Like that day, you know, we sent the email saying, hey, deposit sent. You know, so.
Yeah. And that's really important, especially in the African American community, where we're 4 times more likely to die during childbirth. So to have that advocate is something that we were not willing to compromise on. So during this 2 weeks of waiting, we learned a lot. And we just want to share some of those learnings with you. Baby, you want to take it?
Yeah, so I don't know what I was reading or what I was listening to, but in our season of waiting, I got this prophetic word, and it spoke of God's truth versus the facts of life. And in our situation, the doctor gave us all the facts. Our cervix is short. We're African American, so our chances are very, very likely for
everything bad to happen.
Not a positive, lots of negative outcomes. God's truth is He gave us His baby to take care of. He showed us the plans that He had for the baby. So He gave us a name. He gave us means for this baby, and He gave us a great future to look forward to. So that's the truth, that God is going to get us through this, no matter the facts. So out of many lessons that I've learned, I think that was one that stuck with me most, the truth versus the facts.
And you had so much more peace.
Yeah.
You had peace earlier than I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is going to happen? Like, I just didn't even know for a while until I actually like took some time to woosah. But Brandon's piece came a lot earlier, which tends to happen a lot in our relationship with all the situations. My piece comes, but it takes a while. But yeah, that's good, babe. And one thing you'll realize is how true and prophetic Brandon's word was that he ended up getting.
Throughout season, babe, what did you learn?
Mostly I learned that we are not in control of anything at all when it comes to growing a baby in our belly. Like, all of that is predetermined by God, and which is why his word says he is knitting the baby in our womb intricately, not me. I'm doing nothing but like not poisoning myself and like not drinking, not eating sushi, which I would love to eat. So to just understand that anything that happens to this baby is because God is allowing it. So to just process all news as good news, even if the news is alarming or difficult or hard, it's still good because we are in the full craftsmanship, in the full like pottery house of God. One of the main things I learned was that God will not take something away without replacing it with something so much better. Wow, and as much as we really wanted to go on this baby moon, God knows that. Like, it may seem so insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but it was still significant for us in that moment. And God does care about the details of our lives, even the small, insignificant things like a trip. And with him knowing how important that is for us, I have no doubt that he is setting a plan in place to replace it with something better. Even if that plan is our baby making it full term. Even if we don't get to go on a vacation this pregnancy, the fact that our baby makes it and that he's healthy is that better gift.
Yeah. You know, his work speaks for himself, you know.
Yeah.
He's proven himself time and time again.
Yeah.
So, like we said earlier, we're walking with faith, expecting good news, because he's a God of good news. He's a good father.
Now we're going to take you to
the moments of walking into the hospital right before our doctor's appointment.
Luckily, we don't have to sit here and tell you because we took a video in real time because we wanted it to be as authentic and real. Like, we wanted you to get those emotions as they were unfolding. So, yeah, we're going to play these videos for y'all, and we'll see you back in a second. So we're headed to our 23-week appointment to check my cervix to see whether or not I have to get the cerclage and get stitched closed. And basically the reason we have to do that is because my cervix is short. So today determines the course of action from here on out. And it's been an emotional morning for us. I woke up because I couldn't sleep. I just wanted to talk to God and get a word from him on how to go into this appointment and how to think about it and look at it. And he placed it on my heart to not hope for either outcome, to not hope for getting stitches or not to get stitches, but to just place my hope in him, that he already knows how baby Malachi is going to enter into this world, and the process has already been determined. So to just focus on the outcome, which will be a healthy baby. And that piece really helped, although I still cried for another whole hour after having that conversation with God. And then Brandon came out and prayed over us and the baby, and we just cried together. And we're hopeful regardless of the outcome.
What we constantly remind ourselves is that this is God's baby, and we're just partnering with God on this project. We're baby Malachi's earthly parents, and God's going to deliver the baby to us so we can do our job. So we're going to go hear the facts, but we know the truth, and we're going to walk in together, and we're going to walk out together knowing the truth. So we love baby Malachi. We're going to go see him on the big screen, and it's all good. It's all good. You know, through the worries, through the uncertainty, we're going to make it through, and we're going to see this baby.
Yes, we are. You want to show the baby?
Show the baby. Look at the baby.
I'm so big. Most our big boy.
Yeah, he grew in the past 8 hours. He got big.
He's growing.
But we late, y'all. We love you. Peace.
Okay, so So one more thing before we get scanned, just to add to what we talked about earlier. In my prayer time with God this morning, I wrote out this prayer and I wanted to share it with you guys. It says, "Dear Lord, today we are stepping into a life-defying appointment, but regardless of the result, the answer is peace. Lord, I trust you as the author of my life to have my very best interest in every circumstance. Today I pray for strength to stand firm, knowing that you have plans to prosper me and not to harm me. Lord, I am deciding not to put my hope in either outcome because I honestly don't know what's best for me, but you do. I'm your daughter before I'm a mom. Baby Malachi is your son before he's my son. And you know every detail about the way he enters this world. I'm your vessel, and I trust my Creator cannot make any mistakes. Today, I'm holding on to the promise that all things work together for good for those who love the Lord, and I love the Lord. No matter the outcome, it'll be good because it's a decision that you have made. Lord, I love you. Thank you for the fruits of the Spirit being so evident in our lives. And I ask you to stay super close to Brandon and I as we go through this appointment today. I have full faith knowing that baby Malachi will make it earthside, happy, healthy, and full term. Only you know the details, so I trust you to deliver him. And I'll trust me to not waver on faith that you will. In the almighty, miracle working name of Jesus, amen. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because this morning was very rough. But for some reason, the moment that I started praying, I was able to release it all and just hold on to the fact that he knows what's best for us. And being in this room right now, I don't have any fear. I don't have any worries. I'm just waiting to see what happens. And either way, the answer is going to be good. So we'll keep you posted on what that answer is. And like Brandon said earlier, there is a difference between the facts of the hospital and the truth from God. So we're just going to hold both of those to our heart and understand like which one is on the pedestal. And that's the truth that we will be okay. Daddy Cam, how you feeling?
I feel strong. We've been praying for strength. We've been praying for peace. And, I told you, Christ is our firm foundation is my favorite song. And we listened to that on the way here. And just gave me some more power.
So we just left our appointment. And the doctor got in and she said, I wasn't sure if I was looking at the same cervix because it's actually longer. And previously she told us that the cervix does not grow.
Doesn't grow, even with the medication?
Even with the medication, it doesn't grow. And that the point of the medication is to keep the baby inside until they can figure out if we have to get stitched. But my cervix grew. It's literally
almost 2.8.
Almost 2.8, and it was 2.4 last time. So she's even confused. She's like, I literally thought I was looking at the wrong cervix on the wrong patient. And we're like, but our God ain't confused. He knew.
Facts and the truth.
Oh, God.
Two different things. So, he's a miracle worker, and we're super, super thankful.
Yes, we are very, very relieved. And I think just going into it with a mindset of peace just made this news so much sweeter, because I honestly didn't have expectations of it. I was just like, you're going to be okay, and that's the max of my expectation.
Peace.
So for the outcome to actually be
growth,
like that wasn't even what I was praying for. Like I didn't even have the balls to pray for growth.
Because the doctor said
it's literally not possible. So we're no longer high risk, and we can go back to the suggestion of a home birth. Yep. And we're still like, we can't skydive or travel or anything, but
we're defying the odds. He's defying the odds.
Baby Malachi, and the doctor said he's growing beautifully. Everything looks so good on him. It's a good day. It's a good day.
So guys, as y'all saw, y'all seen the miracles on miracles on miracles. Remy's cervix grew. That wasn't an option for the doctors.
She came in shocked.
Wasn't sure what file she was looking at. Remy's cervix grew. So that's our faith walk. We're just walking with faith because God can like we said, God can do all things. But in the midst of our you know, our fear sometimes we lose sight of what he can actually do. We just hand it over. And what does he do? Surprise us.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Over and over.
Because him showing us that the baby can stay is good news. But him making the cervix grow is God news.
It's God news. And it's just so insane how sometimes we can be so influenced by fact and forget that God is a God of miracles, honey. Like, a fact, what to God? No, he raises from the dead, okay? And when we shared this information with our friends, so the last video that you saw, we sent to our close group of friends and family, our friend Ari, who said, oh my God, are you serious? That was my exact prayer, that your cervix can grow. And she said, I'm so glad that I did not know that it was impossible, because had I known that that wasn't an option, I may have not had the faith to pray for it. And I was just like mind blown by that, because I didn't have the faith to pray for it.
Neither did I.
We did not even, that wasn't one of the things we asked God to do for us, because we did not think that was an option. So I was just reminded of how he asks us to have a childlike faith. And I think that's because children are seemingly ignorant and a little bit like, they're more likely to believe and make believe. They're more likely to like want to be a superhero and want these things that adult minds say is not possible. So to have a childlike faith, it allows you the freedom and the flexibility to ask for something that's not even a possibility. We are just so blessed, and there is something so special about this report, because we were not even expecting it. We were ready to get the stitches. So yeah, we just like wanted to share with you guys that particular journey to remind you that life is not always easy. It's not always glamorous. It's not sexy. Like, sometimes it hurts, and we still have to find a way to love it. And throughout all of this, our love for each other allowed us to just like stick together and understand our calling. And one thing that Brandon said in the video is, this baby is God's first. And we just have to understand that. And worrying does not add to anything. If I were to just like worry my head off about it all, guess what? Nothing would change at all. I may change for the worse, because my body will feel it.
Stress.
But it's not going to worry transitions into stress, and you can't have worry and fear and faith all at the same time. You got to pick either worry and fear or faith. Yeah,
pick a side.
Pick a side. We're not going to set trip over here, and I set trip for a living, okay? I'll be like, today I worry. Today I'm faithful. So yeah.
Yeah, that's our story. That's our update. We have a lot more to unfold, like I said in the first episode. Just stay tuned with us. Keep riding with us. We love you.
Yeah.
And thank you for being here with us. Again, shoot us your questions. Just hit us up in the comments. We write you back, and just keep on coming back to us. We love you, and
we thank you. You can also email us too. Yeah. It's remyandbrandon @gmail.com. One thing that someone did want to know is when we were going to get into our how we met. Yeah, we're going to get there. Maybe in the next video, or maybe in the one after that, but we're going to get y'all
up to speed.
Yeah, we want to get you guys up to speed on what we're battling through right now, what we're walking through. And once we're done with that, we'll talk about all the really fun stuff, like how we met, because that's a fun story.
That's fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for stopping by, showing us love, and we're going to talk to y'all soon.
Bye.
Peace,
Thank you. Woo. We did it.